In Yeon Sang-ho's Revelations, 2025, what begins as a missing person case spirals into a chilling psychological duel between a righteous pastor and a grieving detective, each consumed by their own form of faith. The film expertly weaves together the parallel stories of Pastor Sung-min Chan and Detective Lee Yeon-hui. The pastor, played with compelling intensity by Jun-yeol, is a man buckling under personal failure. After discovering his wife's infidelity and facing humiliation from his church, his world cracks open. When a sex offender, Kwon Yang-ri, wanders into his church and his own son briefly goes missing, Min-chan violently confronts the man, accidentally injuring him. In a flash of lightning that he interprets as the face of Jesus, he sees this tragedy as a divine mandate to purify the world by killing the sinner. His holy mission becomes a personal crusade of vengeance. Detective Lee, portrayed with raw vulnerability by Shin Hyun-been, is haunted by a different ghost. The same criminal, Yang Rae, had previously kidnapped and tortured her sister, who later died by suicide. Lee is tormented by guilt and visions of her sister, which drive her relentless pursuit of Yang Rae. Their paths violently converge around the missing girl and the fugitive Yang Rae, leading to a tense, climactic standoff in a half-built megachurch. At its core, Revelations is less about divine truth and more about dangerous self-deception. Director Yeon Sang-ho explores the psychological phenomenon of apophenia or pareidolia, the human tendency to see meaningful patterns like faces or messages in random stimuli. For the pastor, it's a sign from God in a mountain rock. For the criminal Yang Rae, it's the recurring, monstrous shape of a circular, one-eyed window that triggers his traumatic past. For the detective, it's the ghost of her sister, a manifestation of her own guilt. The film brilliantly poses the central question: are these characters receiving supernatural messages, or are they simply using their beliefs to justify their own darkest desires? Yeon deliberately leaves this ambiguous, creating a tense and thought-provoking atmosphere where faith blurs into obsession and psychosis. Revelations has garnered a mixed but passionate response, perfectly suiting a channel that analyzes divisive films. Critics are split on its execution. The praise. Many laud its ambitious themes, powerhouse performances, especially Jun-yeol's descent into zealotry, and its stark critique of how faith can be weaponized. Some consider it Yeon Sang-ho's most mature and controlled work. The critique. Others find its 2.5-hour runtime and deliberate pacing to be a slow burn that sometimes loses narrative momentum. The film's clinical, emotionally detached tone, which one review described as leaving the viewer feeling cold, can be alienating to some audiences. Revelations is a heavy, challenging, and visually striking thriller that rewards patient viewers interested in psychological and religious ambiguity. It is less a traditional action-packed mystery and more a slow-simmering character study of trauma and fanaticism. You will likely appreciate this film if you enjoy morally complex, slow-burn thrillers from Korea, films that wrestle with themes of faith, guilt, and justice, ambiguous endings that provoke discussion. You may want to skip it if you prefer. Fast-paced, plot-driven action. Clear-cut heroes and villains. Emotionally warm or cathartic narratives. Ultimately, Revelations lives up to its name by slowly unveiling the dark truths within its characters, leaving you to grapple with the unsettling line between divine inspiration and human delusion.